Well, hello garden lovers. This is exciting, isn't it? I mean, look at my garden, it's coming on. It's really come on the last couple of weeks. No, it's not my garden. I've escaped. Yes, Joe's Country Garden goes on tour a little bit. I'm at Arvensis Perennials, Bradford-on-Avon in Wiltshire. And I'm buying loads of perennials for my garden. I've measured up the areas that I need. Some need fully planting out. As you know, I've got lots of gaps that need to be filled in. And I've got new areas I'm going to be planting up. And I often buy plants from these guys. They do 9 centimetre and 2 litre pots. And then I just thought, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to go and see them. To see the plants in situ. And also they've got these wonderful display beds. So you can sort of get an idea of really good combinations, how maybe grasses and perennials will look together. And it's quite inspiring because otherwise you're sort of sitting, you know, with a spreadsheet and obviously you know the plants that you like, but it's also a way of finding some new plants perhaps that you hadn't thought of, and maybe some new combinations as well. So I'm going to have a little look around. They've got polytunnels and they've got this wonderful display garden. I've got to say, I've only seen it on Instagram and now I'm seeing it in person, and it's also good to get an idea of spacing of plants. And yeah, I mean, I know my spacings anyway. I'm quite confident with my spacings, but it's just really nice to see. So they've got beds that were planted up maybe a year or two ago, and then beds that have just been planted up this year, obviously. And then they've also got these rows and rows of beautiful plants. Look at that, and that's what I love. It is literally like going to a sweet shop for a gardener. I'm not going to take them away with me because I've worked out I've got about 120 square meters of planting areas, including gaps and everything. And so I need roughly about 5 plants per square meter. So I'm looking for about 650 odd plants. That's how I work. And then I like to be a bit freeform. I like to just go plants that I really like, that I know work well together. And some things I've got a really good idea of quantities. And then I'll just sort of make it up as I go along a little bit. In fact, there's a lovely Nymphophea down there. I'm not sure I'm allowed to go down this bank, but I am doing. But I do like a nice red hot poker. Well, should we call it a yellow poker? Nymphophea, oh look, they've even got good labels. Nymphophea green jade. So that's a new one on me. I think I have to get some of them. Gonna head over here. Hello. Everyone's got a dog in their videos these days, haven't they? This is one of their lovely big polytunnels. In fact, look, this is a lovely plant I hadn't even thought about. I've never grown it. They're like eyelashes, aren't they? This is the grass. And look, I don't even have to tell you what it's called because there you go. Bouteloua Blonde Ambition. Right, I'm gonna have to make a note of some of those. I've got quite a lot of Pennisetums doing really well. Now this is another favourite of mine as well. This is Persicaria bistorta superba. Really great for sort of edging paths into the woodland. I've got quite a lot of path edges and all that paving obviously that I need to soften. And this is another one, Agastache Firebird. Really crazy colours actually, but I know Kath will really like those colours. So I've got those on my list. This is Cecularia, but I think this is Autumnalis. So this is a great grass, evergreen grass, really good in shade. And you know I like my grasses, so I'll be buying quite a few of them, but I've also got to buy lots of flowering plants. So we are mid-September And what's lovely is that all these perennials, well, some of them are still, flower, like these persicarias behind me, but most of them still got their foliage on. And so when I get them delivered in the next, few weeks, maybe a couple of weeks or something like that, I'll be able to see what's what. Obviously, I'm used to planting perennials that have died down completely down to the ground, but you are sort of, painting with invisible ink. You're dotting pots of compost around, some might have a little stalk here or a little leaf left over there. But at this time of year, even if I can just get them placed and then I've got plenty of time to plant them, I can sort of see what I'm doing. And so the process, because I haven't drawn a planting plan, and as you know, I'm making it all up on the spot, the process is, it's a really good time of year. And also the next couple of weeks, the weather looks really good as well. So it's a perfect time of year to be getting on with a load of gardening. But you can also see what you're doing. Problem is, you just want them all. Naughty Macedonica, I've got some of those. I need some more. These Linaria are nice. There's another plant as well. I want Achillea credo. Oh, look at those Amsonias as well. But Amsonias are quite a key plant for me as a perennial. This is salicifolia. Look at that for an autumn colour from a perennial. It's fantastic. And they flower beautifully as well. So even though they're a perennial, they do a lot throughout the whole season. Yeah, it's terrible. I'm not sure I should have come here. I'm only going to spend more money. There's no doubt about it. But there's worse things in life to spend money on than beautiful plants. That's the way I see it. So this is a lovely grass, which is on my list, Pennisetum macrorum. It's quite thuggish, actually. You can sort of tell from the foliage. These are 2 litre plants, so I want to try and compare them to a 9 centimetre, because obviously you buy plants of different sizes. 9 centimetre the next year turn into 2 litre pretty much, so they're a year apart. But 9 centimetre are much cheaper, so about half the price really. So you could get twice as many for your money and just be a little bit more patient. Right, so here you go, this is the difference. That's a 2 litre pot, you can see. And that's a 9 centimetre pot. Something like that. This Pennisetum is a vigorous plant. And even at 9 centimetres, it's got flowers on it, beautiful flowers. This one's called Cassian's Choice. And yeah, so I'm going to get a balance between the two, mainly going for 9 centimetre pots, I think, because if I plant them this autumn, they'll get their roots down nicely, and then next spring they'll spring into action. But I've also got that sense of maturity in my garden, so it's not like I need instant maturity. There's a nice little combination of plants, and look where they're going. Ooh. I'm in good company, obviously. Oh, in fact, there's another load over here as well. You can sort of be a bit nosy, nose around and see what everybody else is up to. Nah, I wouldn't have chosen those. And into the polytunnel, another polytunnel. Stipa barbata. Oh, yeah, now they're on my list. They're a really interesting grass. They've got a sort of wavy seed head, very sort of ephemeral and groovy looking. The wonderful thing about technology, well, in the old days I'd take a photo of a plant, you have to go and get it processed, and then you'd have a list of the photos that you've taken and you have to put 2 and 2 together. And now I can just take a photo of the plant, take a photo of the label, and there, it's all there for reference. It's fantastic. So when I get back, I can sort of cross-reference anything I've already got on my list, anything that I'm going to add to my list, plants that have just sprung into my mind while being here, or something I've just quite fancied to have a little look at. It's great. So it's into the shade tent. Mainly foliage, big foliage stuff. Brunnera macrophylla, Carex, Look at that, what a texture, amazing texture, that grass. Carex Appalachia. Yeah, I love visiting nurseries. I don't really visit them enough sometimes because on bigger projects, you know, you're just sending off spreadsheets and you're visiting gardens maybe, but it's also about what's available is really important. There's no point in, finding plants and then thinking, well, where am I going to get those from? Obviously, I'll be growing some stuff from seed as well. But I just find it really inspiring. Okay, I like the look of this little plant. This is Linaria peachy, which is lovely, isn't it? It reminds me a little bit of a plant, a salvia one called La Mancha. It's sort of yellow and with a little hint of pink in there. So that's definitely going on the list. This is a lovely little tour, isn't it? Just wandering around. And that's interesting actually, the way they've used this Pennisetum macrorum here. So there's just a few plants dotted through this bed quite sparingly. And I had an idea of using them a little bit more densely. Is that word, densely? Well, it is now. There's got to be 3, so there's one there, and one at the back. But you can use them, and there's that Stipa gigantea at the back. I mean, that's incredible. So even when they're just laid out in beds, sort of in blocks, gives you a good idea. It's a nice panicum. There's the Amsonia again. So there you go. Arvensis Perennials. Fantastic, what a fantastic nursery. Quality of plants is brilliant, but they are a trade only nursery, so you have to be a professional gardener or a landscaper. If you know a professional gardener, they could open an account, or if you have a gardener working for you, then they can open an account as well. But it's a great place, and yeah, beautiful plants, really nice and clean, good quality. And I'm buying all of my plants here, by the way. This is not an advert. I'm not getting a special deal at all. Thought I'd just point that out. Well, this is the result. It's Tuesday, and Rob from Arvensis Perennials said, why don't I nip round here? It's only 20 minutes down the road to Derry Watkins' garden and nursery, where I've never been actually. Now you can come here and buy plants direct, and I recommend that you do, because she's got some really interesting plants, really beautiful nursery and a garden out the back. And yeah, it's just a real result. It's Tuesday, because she's only open on a Tuesday. I've met Derry a few times, but she's not here today, sadly. So these plants will just have to keep me entertained, and I'll have to entertain myself, and you can come on a little tour with me. It's called the Special Plant Nursery, and here we go, we're going into the shade tunnel. She's got a huge collection of salvias, beautiful salvias. I think I'm going to have to get my checkbook out. Well, hopefully she takes cards here. That's beautiful. Geranium nudosum, Fielding's Folly, deep purple flowers. Monty's favourite plant at Chelsea, it says. Ah, Monty's favourite plant at Chelsea. Understandable, actually. That really is a special little number, that. Derry's famous for more specialist plants, rarer, more unusual plants, I guess. Salvias, Nachtvlinder. It's a famous one, that. Everyone knows that one, don't they? What's this one? Dyson's Joy, pale creamy pink flowers, June to November, likes good drainage. She's got labels on every single plant here. I'm also going to go for a little tour around the garden. Now, Derry on a Tuesday takes people for tours around the garden, but well, she's not here today. She's off visiting another nursery. It's obviously nursery visiting day. So I'm going to take myself around the garden, but I have been given a beautiful design and a plant list. Plants looking good on garden open day, September 2025. So I've got, and that is a serious list of plants. We are talking hundreds. So yeah, here we're in with all the pelargoniums. Recently potted, water sparingly. I love a little note. Best lemon scented pelargonium, Maple Grey, rubber leaf. Well, okay, here we go. Wow, sherbet, lemon sherbet. Wow, I can still smell that. Plectranthus. This is a really great plant. Plectranthus argentatus. This is turning into euphorbia. Euphorbia diamond frost blooms all summer and all winter if you take it inside. It's really got Derry's character here. Right, let's go and have a look at the garden. I've come out the door. No, I think I'm not holding this upside down, I don't think. Anyway, you know what? I don't really like following a garden plan. I love just getting lost. So I'm just going to get lost in Derry's garden. This is gravelly, and I've seen it on Instagram quite a lot. This is, yeah, all gravelly and well drained. Look at that, not a bad view. It's so interesting to see how people approach their gardens. Being a designer, it's just lovely. And look, there's that little curved, oh no, that's not box actually. That is the euonymus, Gene Hughes probably. And just lovely, that curve. That's what I'm doing, sort of working with the landscape beyond. What a fabulous day. I feel like I'm sort of bunking off school or bunking off work. I am. Now we all know that one, Steeper Gigantea. And then I like this as well. This is a big stone trough. Fabulous with Saracenas. Now these are carnivorous plants. They love moist soil, rainwater. So this is obviously rainwater. But that's a really cool little sculptural feature, isn't it? Just love it. And yeah, if you're ever in this area on a Tuesday, it's got to be a Tuesday, you have to come here, garden lovers. It really is inspirational. Great house as well. It's so light in there. Living the dream. These salvias, like a salvia hedge. Beautifully placed sculpture. We're going in. Wow. Milianthus major, that is. Talk about plants as sculpture. Look at that. And these leaves are just brilliant. And they smell of peanut butter. It's also called the peanut butter plant. And it will love the protection that this hornbeam hedge gives it. Look at the light. Oh, this is such a delight. What a garden. I like the sculptural forms as well. It's not just a plantsman's or plants person's garden, I should say. Heptacodium, everyone's planting those, but look at that, that's an old one. We've seen a lot of Chelsea when Chelsea was moved to September because it flowers in September, but it's also got a really beautiful bark as well. peeling bark. Greenhouses, tomatoes. They are big. They're huge. Oh yeah. There's a lot of veg being grown down here. What's that room there then? Is that like a garden studio? Oh yeah, it's a cool deck. Oh, it's a workshop. It's sort of arty workshop. View beyond. There's a copper beech hedge. Geranium, is that Johnson's blue? Might be Roseanne. And then we're going through to some more mown paths down the bottom here. And well, the orchard, mulberry tree, apple trees, pear trees, liquid amber, fabulous autumn colour, willow, and then we're heading back up again. I do love YouTube, the way you can literally just turn up with a phone on a stick and yeah, and just see whatever takes you. Main thing, Niphofias. And I love a garden that just leads you through. You never quite know where you're going. And discover more plants. Lovely steps, gorgeous pot, and here there's a pond. I bet the wildlife is amazing here. That's the water hawthorn in there. And the weather is spot on. I think I might buy some plants now. Well, Derry does take cards, as you can see. I've been quite disciplined. I only bought 3 plants. I got this one. This is the geranium. Geranium nodosum Fielding's Folly. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Look at that. It's got flowers on it. I'll divide it up over time and spread it around a little bit. It's good for dappled shade, which I've got plenty of. Then I've got this lovely salvia as well, strawberries and cream. I would call it more sort of strawberries and off cream, really. It's a little bit like their Linaria peachy at Arvensis, similar colours. Really like it. It's got a woody stem developing, really nice plant. But I'm not going to plant that or this. This is Salvia convertiflora, which has got bright orange flowers. Don't know where I'm going to put it, but that's what happens, isn't it, when you go to a nursery? I've always wanted one. I've always wanted one of these, and now I've got one. So that is not fully hardy, so I'm going to put that in the greenhouse over winter. I've got a greenhouse now, and I'm going to overwinter this in the greenhouse as well, because if I plant them now and we have a really sort of cold, wet winter, neither of these plants are going to like it. They like a bit of good, well, they like good drainage, and you're much better off planting salvias in spring. But what a fantastic day, I've got to say. And what's also interesting is I've bought, I'm going for my staple plants, my quantities of plants from nurseries like Arvensis. I'll be going other places as well for shrubs, and I need some trees. I need lots of stuff. But what's really lovely is visiting a nursery like Special Plants, Derry Watkins's nursery, where you get stuff you're just not going to find in garden centres. You're not going to find it in the big nurseries either. And those lovely memories as well of where you first saw the plant and got it. So I hope to build up a really good collection of plants, sort of designer plants, but then also real specialist plants as well. and there's lots of depth, there's lots of space here, no doubt about it. Another thing, while I'm on a ramble, another thing I've been thinking about on the drive on the way back was, because of the scale of this project, I need to think about planting in quantities. So I'm going to revise my list. Rather than having, you know, maybe 15 of a plant, 3 blocks of 5, I think I'm going to go more 7s and 9s. So I'll be looking for sort of 21 or what's 3, you know, maths 27s of plants, so that I can plant in larger brush strokes, more impactful planting, but at the same time easier maintenance, because in spring with these perennials you cut them down to the ground and a big chunky block should form, should reduce weeding and just hopefully reduce maintenance a little bit. Anyway, enough rambling. It'd be really interesting to know whether you liked my ad hoc visit to those nurseries. Really, I just thought, well, I'm going, I may as well film it, may as well put it out there. Because there's so many nurseries out there, so many great gardens out there. Is it worth me taking my camera and just rambling on? I know the camera works awful. I just have to put up with that. It's all I can do. And sometimes the sound, you know, I've got my wind mic on or I haven't. Anyway, it's all very amateurish. But that's the great thing about YouTube. So a little bit of feedback on that would be great. And also I will put Derry's fabulous garden, and you can visit her nursery as well on a Tuesday. Not sure how many times I've said that. Too many, probably. Anyway, garden lovers, till next time.